I'm just getting over a cold. One of these books made me cry so hard that I ended up going to bed with a sniffling nose, and I woke up with like a full-blown cold. But hey, so just gonna go straight into it. This is my July reading wrap-up, journal, whatever. Technically, I did read this book in the month of July. However, I did cover this book and the rest of this duology in a separate video, so you can go look at that one. The first book I read was Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This was such a refresher after reading Dance of Thieves, because I didn't really enjoy that one that much. But this is an Enemies to Lovers. I really enjoyed it. I read it in a week. Couldn't put it down. There's great banter in it, which is pretty, like I said, refreshing after my last read that had almost none. This book is like The Hunger Games, but heavy on the romance and fantasy, obviously. Ordinaries are hunted down in fear that they will weaken the elite society. Peyton finds her path crossed with Kai, who is the king's enforcer, and he's the one who executes the ordinaries. So not good for her. She ends up being chosen to participate in the trials, which are basically just entertainment for the elites. Peyton fights to survive the trials undetected as an ordinary, while a resistance works in the background to right the wrong that has been done for decades to undesirables. There is something of a love triangle that happens between Peyton, Kai, and Kai's brother Kit. But honestly, I don't care for Kit. He's a horrible brother. I don't like him. But anyways, 5 stars. The next book in this little series would be Powerful. It's a novella, and I skipped it, and I went straight to Reckless because I couldn't wait to read it. Right off the bat, just great. The first chapter had me sitting up. It was so good. I read this whole book, 377 pages or something like that, in 2 days. I couldn't put it down. Okay, the story continues immediately where it left off in the previous book. The whole book is really a cat and mouse game between Peyton and Kai. I won't say too much because it'll leave spoilers for the last book, for Powerless. But it is definitely a slow burn with a lot of tension. This book also has a few chapters from Kit's point of view that are really building up for what's to come in the final book of this trilogy. I got the Barnes & Noble's edition, which includes a bonus chapter from Kit's point of view that is pretty heart-wrenching for all the characters involved in that chapter. It's one of the best books that I've read in a while. It left on a major cliffhanger, and I can't wait to see what's to come for these conflicted characters. 5 stars. After I read Reckless, then I went back and I read Powerful. Powerful is a novella that takes place at the same time as Powerless, but it follows Adina, which is Peyton's best friend. This book had me crying so hard that James actually had to come and check on me because he was concerned. It's the equivalent of Assassin's Blade, if Assassin's Blade was in Sam's point of view. So I did skip over it and went straight to Reckless, but this book should not be slept on. It's so good. It's definitely a must read because we can expect a character from this book to pop up in the final book. Definitely have some tissues on hand when reading this one. If you were to read this book alone, then the story would be cute until it's sad. But then knowing what happens, it makes all those sweet moments super depressing. You could definitely what is it called? When they do the duo reads. Hold on. I gotta think about it. What is it called? There's a word. Dual reading? I don't know. Whatever it is, you can do it for Powerful and Powerless. It does match up. I'm sure there's a guide somewhere where you can find it. 5 stars. So the whole Powerless trilogy so far at this point, it's just 5 stars, which is pretty hard to accomplish. But it was good. The last time I read a set of books so fast was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. But this is definitely going to be on the top of my recommendation list for romantic-y type of stuff. It took me a while to get out of that world. You know what I mean? When you're just stuck crying about shit. I ended up picking up this book, The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. I started reading this book. I got to chapter 1 and then decided to stop reading there. Shoot, there goes my little marker thing. But it's not because it was a bad book. It was other reasons. I'm gonna go back and read this book. But I have 1 month left until my school starts in fall, and there's a series I've been wanting to read that has a spin-off that I've been wanting to read. So I'm going to take this time to read it before having to put all my energy and time into schooling. And that series is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. So that's what I'm reading now. I did finish this book. I'm now on the second one. This was a good book. The book follows Scarlett through Caraval. It's a mystery game that Scarlett and her sister have dreamt of participating in since they were children. It's got a mystery in it that